So the first thing I want to ask you is, what made you personally involved in social justice, and how do you, since you're the youth leader, how do you attract the youth to get involved in something, so important to us personally?
Yeah. Okay, so how I was involved was basically, I think, because I was directly impacted by it. And so because I had an experience where, my father was detained and deported, I started to, organize around immigration issues. When I was in college, I was in an MSA that was targeted, so when, the NYPD reports came out about the NYPD spying and who they had targeted, my MSA was specifically, mentioned in that. People I knew were in that report. And so that's when I started organizing around police reform when I was in college. And so I think, the idea that I grew up in the community and I was impacted by things made me start to organize as a youth and got me interested. Also having space. So I think there's a difference of youth who get to have access to institutions and youth who don't. So I did. I had a really active mosque next to my home, Mass Youth Center, and there were always youth programs going on, and so I got to be part of that. Now trying to organize youth is a whole different ball game. I think there's two different things that I struggle with, which is one is the apathy that's kind of generally been felt in the Muslim community. There used to be more political conversations in the Muslim community. So, people used to know, oh, let's talk about Palestine. Or people, or, we would talk about Islamophobia and we would feel like we're targeted. And now I think there's been this air of, there's a fear of bringing that into classrooms. People are not ready to talk about that, things like that. Or, there's a fear that, you'll be targeted because you're talking about it. So, generally, a lot of youth feel a lot of apathy because sometimes they're not directly feeling it. They're not necessarily they didn't experience the adults in their communities getting arrested or deported or things like that, which was something that a lot of us post 9/11, when we were aware enough, we experienced that. Another thing is that you need to reach out to youth, so you need to actually go to where they are. Trying to constantly get them into a certain space is really difficult, and so I'm a model of trying to go to schools and organizing within the schools and trying to work with the student body there rather than trying to get 2 or 3 kids to come here. But then also within institutional spaces, whether that's an organization or a mosque, it's about making it feel inclusive to them. Absolutely. So do youth feel welcome to come into a mosque and have a meeting about something or in an organization, etc.? Or are they being policed there? In the sense of are they are there people coming up to them saying you're too loud or you don't look the right way, etc.?